Hello and welcome to Not Without My Sister, where today, for the first time in months, I am literally not without my sister because we're finally recording once again the same recording studio. Woohoo! Yeah, so we can laugh at each other's jokes without a delay. We can see each other's faces. If Beatrice wants to sketch an unflattering drawing of me, I'll be able to see it across the table while she's doing it.
Oh yeah, you should post that one.
I should. Today's minisode is going to be about, I think I saw somebody talking about this on Instagram stories. Essentially what I want to know is, what are the things that you have to deal with every day that disgust you? Do you know what I mean? So like, I'm trying to think of like everyday things that just make you go, oh, I wish I'd never have to do that. Like, you know, some people, you know what it was? It was from a show that we're going to talk about in a couple of minisodes time, called Firefly Lane, our new number one obsession.
Oh my God.
And it was from that where one of the characters changes the coffee filters all the time because she knows that the other character gives her the willies.
Oh yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so I was thinking about what are the things in everyday life that you have to do, because you have to change the coffee filter, and you have to, like, my number one least favorite thing is picking things out of the sink.
Yeah.
You know, like when when the kids have emptied a bowl of cereal down the sink and there's like bits of cereal, because we don't have a garbage disposal, so we just have to pick them out of the filter.
Pick them. What did you do at home? What did we used to do? We didn't have a garbage disposal.
No, but I just think Mom was very strict about us not putting things down the sink. So like, if you had cereal, you would kind of, Mom was very strict about finishing your cereal.
No, do you remember we had that bowl for the cat? So you'd put all the scrapings in the bowl for the cat.
For the cat or the dog.
No, I actually always hated looking at that. It was absolutely revolting looking.
It is revolting, but it was very handy.
It was very handy, but absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, I actually rued the day that I discovered that you shouldn't actually feed all this shit to your animals, because it would be very handy if you could just give them all your leftovers.
What do I hate? I hate what, like, absolutely turns my stomach. Like, digging things. These are all kind of the drain related, like digging things out of the bottom of the dishwasher if there's any food, because Don is not, I would have to say, he's many things. An excellent, what's the word? I'm actually a moron today.
An excellent father.
Rinser. Rinser of plates. He is not an excellent rinser of plates. No,
he's not an excellent.
He is not an excellent rinser.
No,
and
okay.
and he'll say things like, "Oh, I didn't see that," and you're like, "It was half a bowl of macaroni cheese gets put upside down, like
in the dishwasher."
Yes, and drives me to drink. But the other thing is taking hair out of the plug. That is the most revolting.
You know, I was actually going to say that, right?
Oh, that makes me
currently
want to
we
puke.
have like a flat. It's completely flat, so you can just kind of scoop it off to one side with your foot and then just use a bit of tissue to pick it up. So it's actually very straightforward. I remember moving into an apartment in Stoneybatter at one point, a house actually. And I remember the first couple of showers we had, we were like, the shower's just not draining right, and there was kind of a bad smell. And we ended up taking out what would amount to two like full-sized...
Oh God, I might puke, stop.
...rats of hair.
Oh,
like that size.
Rats!
It wasn't rats, but it was just hair in the size and the mass of two.
Did it have to be rats?
Well, that was what I thought of at the time, because they were dark and they were hairy and they were in the drain. It was so disgusting.
Oh, I'll tell you what I absolutely hate. I feel like I'm not quite on the right topic here, but I hate buttered bread in sandwiches. Like if somebody gives me a sandwich and it's accidentally buttered, I can't. Like I nearly.
Now we've just moved on to you
out.
and your weird fish oils. Although I have to say, I hate a buttered sandwich.
Oh, I absolutely
hate it.
If there's
any other filling, cheese, salad, jam, anything, no butter.
Oh, no, but no, Don brought me very nicely a piece of toast with, actually don't even like jam, but I bought rhubarb. Say that, sorry?
Bun mammal.
I bought
the world's best
rhubarb
jam.
And strawberry. I was like, because I love a bit of
was
rhubarb. It was It was very, very sweet, right? So I didn't really like it. But
my jam was too sweet.
No, it was so sugary, like
my
it was so sweet.
My spoon is too polished.
But anyway, underneath the jam there was a big glob of butter.
Oh, nothing worse.
I know, and I was like, "Oh, Don, I'm sorry, I can't eat that." And he was so peeved. Should have seen the look he gave me of like this total ingrate. But I was like, "I'm sorry, Don, I just can't. Like, I can't eat."
But like, sorry, was he gonna wait in the room for you to eat it, or?
Well, he gave it to me, and then he looked at me lovingly, like while I prepared to take my first bite, which is actually bizarre because his pet peeve is looking at people eat.
Maybe
So-
he loves you so much that he can get over it for you. Brandon's pet peeve is the sound of people eating, which is bad news for me because my previous housemate Claire told me I was a very loud eater. She used to say it to me all the time, and I was like, Sorry, what do you want me to do? I can't eat more quietly.
Well, Julie used to tell me sometimes I was breathing loudly, which I mean, sorry, but that actually is mean now that I think about it.
You know what? But telling someone they're breathing loudly is literally code for you're my housemate and you're annoying me. Do you know what I mean? It's nothing to do with the actual breathing. It's literally just like this person is irritating me, and I'm so irritated by them that I'm now focusing on their breathing.
Their very existence.
I wish she would
It's a
just stop
bane to
breathing.
me. Yeah.
And die in the room next to me.
Well, it was more when I'm concentrating that I do tend to get a little bit
Darth Vader, dad does that too.
Yes. Oh God. So, but it made me really paranoid. To this day, when I hear myself breathing, I stop and try and breathe lightly.
I'm imagining with you now having waking apnea. When I hear myself breathing, I go, oh.
It's a waking apnea. Yeah, thanks, Julie. Have you ever seen anybody look as delighted as Don did by those 4 girls stranded at the end of the driveway? He looked absolutely
Sorry,
chuffed.
can we just clarify? You're making him sound like Ivan Milat now, that Australian serial killer. There were 4 girls, 4 young, I'd say, late teens, early college age, maybe younger. Their little 4x4, whatever it was. What do they call them? ATVs?
Yeah.
All-terrain vehicles? I know things. Ran out of petrol at the end of the driveway, and they were there when I drove in. And obviously, I was just like, whatever, I'm not even asking you what's wrong. Just like,
That's nice.
goodbye. They're on their phones, they're grand. And Don came up and was like, Nash, there are girls at the end of the driveway. Poor Nash.
Poor Nash still in his PJs in the garden.
Poor Nash looking absolutely mortified as I was like, go and put on something sexy.
Sexy.
He doesn't own anything sexy.
That's going to be honestly, but of course it'd be my fault. I've nothing sexy, Mom. Okay, sorry.
Okay, sorry, back to the topic. Oh yeah, one of the things that I do genuinely hate is I hate when you're making pastry or dough or something and the point at which you have to do it with your hands. I don't mind doing it with my hands, but I hate when it gets under your nails.
Yeah, yeah. And you can't get it off your hands even when you wash it.
Oh yeah, it takes age and you're picking under your nails. It's gross. I hate that.
No, Don absolutely hates on television shows when people start to eat. Oh my God, I cannot. Why would they show us this? I cannot. Right. And he starts turning, then he turns off the TV, right? Because he just absolutely hates it.
Because he's so outraged.
No, he just finds it so repulsive watching people eat.
Well, I remember, who was it? There was some Irish influencer who used to basically do a lot of Instagram stories. I think when she was on her lunch break or whatever. So frequently she'd be eating. People were always giving out about it. And it's just but she does this all the time. So if you really hate it, just stop watching her.
Oh, I can't.
Do you know what I mean?
I can't imagine. Ugh. It's like that thing you love, that mukbanging you were talking about.
Mukbanging, Granny, it's mukbang. It's just called mukbang.
Yeah, that thing.
Well, I suggested to Beatrice, and this did not go down well, that we do a mukbang episode.
Absolutely not.
Which is basically where you eat while doing an episode. And the whole idea is that some people like hearing the sound, I think.
Absolutely not. I would vomit.
I watched an entire YouTube video of a YouTuber I follow, Jacqueline Hill, eating crab legs with her boyfriend. And they were with her fingers, and picking them apart and picking the meat out and then eating it and dipping it in sauces and stuff. And it was all this noise of, and also them crackling. Oh, there was a lot of noises. And I've also watched, who was it? I think it might have been Jackie Aina doing a makeup tutorial while she was eating chicken wings.
What?
Or maybe,
why would you be eating chicken wings while you're putting on your makeup?
No, I don't think she was putting on. Maybe she was just talking about makeup, but she was answering questions or something while eating chicken wings.
Do you know what? That's actually what I hate. I
fried
hate the skin on chicken wings. I absolutely hate the little dimpled, globby, gross.
You have to say little dimpled globby. Yes. Absolutely most disgusting description. You would really hate. So I bought Brandon this electric smoker for Christmas.
Yeah. Ugh.
And he has smoked a few delicious, we've had some very, very, very nice brisket that I know I've not brought to her. I actually meant to bring you bolognese and I forgot.
Thanks.
You're welcome. We had a delicious brisket, but he then smoked chicken wings in it. And they were just very moist.
Slimy. That's it. The sliminess of the
never
skin.
got crispy. You know what I mean? And so we were at the kitchen table and it was me, him and the 2 boys. And especially with the boys, I try really hard not to show when I'm repulsed by food because I think it's rude, to be at the table and be like, this is disgusting. And I'm always telling them, it's not disgusting. You just don't like it. I am Claire McCabe. But I'm it was disgusting, but it was absolutely revolting. And I was trying to take these wet bits of chicken off, and I was trying to take the skin off and stuff, and the boys were like, "This is delicious, Dad," and I was like, Oh, it was awful.
Well, okay, so that's gross to me. That actually makes me now. What? I'm trying to think like what it's more. I would say I'm less repulsed by things than I am just like entirely bored by them. I am so bored, especially during this pandemic, putting on my makeup. I am so bored the amount of time that I spend putting on makeup to sit in front of a screen. Now, admittedly, it is for the benefit of my colleagues, and on the days when I don't have it, I send pictures to you and say things like, "Don't I look terrible?"
Now going, "Don't stop."
And then I'm so bored. I also find going to the toilet so boring. I feel like I used to enjoy
The toilet.
going to the bathroom because I used to bring a book. But now, like, the minute I close the door,
I used to bring a book.
yeah, the minute I close the door, somebody's looking at me. Somebody's looking for me. Like, yesterday I was like, I'm going to go to the downstairs bathroom now. And I brought my Vogue magazine and I went in to the bathroom. And literally 2 seconds later, "Mom, where's Mom? Where's Mom?" Then the cacophony around the house. "Mom, where's Mom? Mom, we need Mom." I was like, what do you need me for? I was like, I am in the bathroom. And then I found myself like super stressed in the bathroom saying, "Give me 2 minutes."
You couldn't even enjoy your Vogue.
I couldn't even enjoy it at all. So
I
super boring.
frequently get followed to the bathroom by at least one, if not two animals.
And
But I mean, I could just close the door, but like I just
Oh, yeah. You know what-
otherwise they scratch at the door. It's annoying me.
you know what else I hate? And this obviously makes me a very bad parent.
Oh no.
Bedtime.
Oh my god, I was just going to say bedtime.
I hate bedtime.
Bedtime is such a bore.
So boring.
And I feel really bad because like a lot of the time the boys will be like, will you read us a book? Will you sing us a song?
oh, will you do what is it? Good night the wrong way? And so then I'm there reciting this 57 times. "Don't let the bugs play. That's wrong. Do it again. You didn't do enough for them." Oh my God. And also then I'm nearly driven into a rage by the fact that their bedrooms are generally like have somehow morphed into total mess again.
Oh, I know. Listen, I had a good time when I had my sprained ankle because I had a good excuse. I was like, "Oh no, my ankle's too sore. I can't walk the 10 steps to the bedroom. Sorry, not tonight, love."
But I used to love
I
being
can't get out of it.
But I used to love being tucked in, so I feel like it's really,
I know.
really hypocritical of me. I used to cry if I didn't get tucked in at night. And I'm talking now when I was a kid, not when I was 15, just FYI.
I mean, I was probably 15. But I also have a distinct memory of when I was about, I think I was about 7. One night I was basically, couldn't go to sleep and I kept being convinced that I needed to go to the bathroom. And then I'd go and there was no pee. I think I maybe had a very mild urinary tract infection or something.
Thanks.
You're welcome. And I was crying and I remember Dad being like, "You're fine, you just need to go to sleep." And I was like, "No, I can't. I keep thinking I need to pee. There's no pee there." And Dad said, "Listen, I'll just sit in with you until you fall asleep." And I'm sure he was delighted he just got to sit still.
With his book. He probably brought his book.
No, I think the lights were off. I know, a big sacrifice for Dad. But honestly, that's one of the nicest, like one of my most cherished memories. I'm like, it was so nice. And so sometimes now when the boys will be like they'll come out every night. So they go to bed, we read them a book, sing them a song, tuck them in. We go back out to the sitting room and sit down. They go, "Will you tuck me back into bed? I had to get up to get my teddy."
Oh my God, you're much better parents.
Will you cover me up again? So we go back to cover them up. Then you go back into the sitting room. And then inevitably, 2 minutes after you've tucked them in, they'll come back, "Can't sleep."
Oh yeah, totally. I send them up to bed. I say, "I'll be up in half an hour to tuck you in." I hope to God and pray to the God I don't believe in that they'll be asleep by the time I get up. So I don't have to worry about anything. And then I try to get away with not going up. And generally they come down and find me. Oh, I'm a bad parent.
Well, basically then sometimes like William came out one day, he had a rash on his arm. I can't remember if it was just that we decided he'd been scratching himself or from a nettle or something, but he came out and he was like nearly crying. He was like, "My arm is really sore." And I was kind of going, we should just go and sit with them until they fall asleep, but it's so boring. Do you remember the time that I promised Chance and Bo that I'd sit with them until they fell asleep, and then I had to?
Granny's
God,
always,
nightmare.
Mom's always patting Bo's back until he
And then
falls
she
asleep.
falls asleep.
Oh yeah, that's so nice though. I pat his back, give him a couple of cursory pats, and then I'm like, can I leave?
But it's also different because like, and this is terrible, they're precious angels, but that's the only time you get during the day without them.
Yeah, I know. So
Do
I'm
you know what I
dying
mean?
for them to go to
like,
sleep.
Yeah, like read your book, read your Vogue, go to the loo in peace,
Yeah.
watch some TV and not have to worry about it being suitable for them.
God, I'm already dying for bedtime.
I'm always dying for bedtime. I've been like launching a very, very staunch campaign with Brandon to send them to bed earlier. Although they are very tired, so I think it's actually
I thought you said they already go to bed. Oh no, because they get up at the crack of dawn, your kids.
Well, so on Mondays and Tuesdays, yeah, they get up at like 5:30 because their mom picks them up before Brandon
They
goes to
definitely
work.
need to go to bed earlier. But I mean, on the other hand, I send my kids to bed and they don't go to sleep, and they just do lots of shrieking.
Yeah, we sent them to bed at 8, and then at about 9:45, they're like, I can't sleep.
Well, I sent them to bed last night, and then Bo comes downstairs, and he's a desperate tattletale, I have to say. And he comes downstairs, and he's like,
have you not told him snitches get stitches? I love saying that to William. He hates me.
Well, he comes downstairs, and he's like, I gotta go out the front door. And I go, for what? Like, what are you doing? It's nighttime, even though it's still bright. It's bedtime. That's a hard thing as well in the summer, right? So it's like super bright, and they all think they should still be up
really early.
Yeah, I said, what? We started throwing things out the window because we were bored. I'm like, oh my God. And like, it also puts the heart crossways on me as well, as Mum would say, the hearse, because I always have a vision of like one of them flinging themselves out after, you know?
Well, sorry. One day William and Finn jumped out their windows completely naked.
Oh my God.
Ran around the house and then couldn't get back in the windows and entered the door. And I wasn't there at the stage, and Brandon had no idea. He just thought they were like tucked up in bed. I think he was playing his computer games.
Actually terrifying.
That's such a fright.
That's actually terrifying. And I mean, on the other hand, you don't want to lock the windows. Anyway, we are digressing from the topic.
Oh, yeah,
what other revolting things that turn your stomach happen on a daily basis? I'm trying to think.
So you know what I really don't like? When you're taking the fluff out of and then our dryer guard or whatever it's called, the little thing that you pull out that has fluff on it.
Yeah, the lint catcher or the lint tray or whatever it's called.
Yeah, the lint tray. So sometimes, basically, because we have so many animals, it'll be covered in hair, and you kind of have to tap it to get it off, and it just turns my stomach every time because I can see the like dander rising in the air, and I'm like, at least 10% of that is in my lungs now.
Oh, I mean, I don't think there are very many things apart from like the absolute gross things that go down drains that really bother me. I'm like, Dawn cannot look at kitty litter, yeah. Whereas I do that, like, it's grand. It's like, it is what it is.
I don't generally mind kitty litter, but I am really enjoying now not being able to do it because I'm pregnant.
Oh, you're not allowed to do it?
Well, so I looked it up online. Well, actually, I read this book called Expecting Better by Emily Oster that was recommended to me. And she was kind of trying to debunk all of the things about you should or shouldn't do this in pregnancy. And she talks about it like, statistically, all the chances of this are this, and actually the chances of it anytime, whether you're pregnant or not, are actually the same. And all this kind of stuff. Yeah. And one of the things was kitty litter. And she was saying the reason you're not supposed to do it is because cats might have like something like toxoplasma. I think that's the rabbit thing, but like some kind of bug that they have, that they can have. But it's pretty much only outdoor cats. And because our cats have never been outdoors, I probably could do the kitty litter. Shh. No, I already revealed this to Brandon, but what I said was, I'm going to tell you some information now, but before I tell you, you have to promise not to use this against me in any way, not to like remember this, and that this cannot change any rules that we currently have.
So why'd you bother telling him?
I don't know, because I just wanted to tell him. I wanted to be smug, be like, this isn't even a rule anymore, but you still have to do it. Well, they're his cats, listen.
They are his cats. They're his cats,
yeah.
So revolting. I can't think of anything else absolutely revolting. Do you have anything else revolting?
I mean, you know what? Like, isn't revolting, but I really, really don't like doing it. Taking stickers off things. When they won't come off, and then there's the other, but it's the scratching, like it kind of has a nails on blackboard feeling for me. That under layer.
That's what I hate. Good one. I hate, those terracotta tiles we have at home in the conservatory.
Yeah.
So, those, I don't know what that texture would be called, but it's like kind of cement tiles, right? So they're not sealed, they're not porcelain.
Kind of like bare stone tiles.
Oh my God, I'm actually getting the shivers down my back right now. I hate when Mom used to take that dry bristle outdoor brush
scrubber
and scrub the water across them. I actually, every single time, I'm getting actual gross shivers in the back of my teeth. You look
like Morla from Never Ending Story. She comes emerging out of the head of the rock with the teeny tiny eyes.
Oh, that is, and every time Mom be like, will you go out there and give that a scrub? I'm like, I can't. I literally.
Have she ever asked me to scrub anything?
Of course she didn't. I'm like, I physically cannot do it. I can't. And she was always, it's so ridiculous. It's all in your head. But it wasn't in my head. It was in the back of my teeth.
Sorry, not to make every episode, let's just finish with a tribute to Mom. What gives Mom the willies other than mice?
That's a sentence I don't want to hear again, thanks. Everything.
But you know what I mean? Like, is there any, like, she's very practical about all that kind of kitchen stuff. She's like, oh, it's just food. You know what I mean? I've never heard her, like, give out about taking something out of a drain or anything.
Nudity.
Nudity and bad words.
Bad language. Do you really need to use so much bad language, Rosemary? And did you have to share those stories? And what about that text we got the other day? Stop talking about me.
My favourite part of that text was when she went, if I wanted to be in a podcast, I'd do one myself. I'm like, really, Mom? Do you know how to, like, really? Where would you
poor
start? Tell
mom.
us. This has been your Not Without My Sister Minisode. You'll get a full episode on Tuesdays, which will be full length and fabulous.
Well researched.
Yes, full of educational things.
Educational stuff.
You can follow us on Instagram at Not Without My Sister, individually at Rosemary McCabe and at Beatrice McCabe. Our website's notwithoutmysister.com. Email us notwithoutmysis@gmail.com. And if you have 2 seconds, you could give us a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you're listening. We would really appreciate it. 5 stars only.
Recommend us to your friends.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Tell everyone. And your dentist and your gynecologist or whoever.
Right.
Everyone. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Not Without My Sister is produced by Liam Garrity, sound and original music by Don Kirkland, and our original illustration is by Lindsay Nielsen.
Not Without My Sister is a member of The Warren.
As is our podcast, The Critter Shed.
For more great podcasts, hop along to thewarren.ie.